say that this was paid by two different people?
It could, yes.
And can you, just taking a look at that receipt, can you tell how many drinks were ordered on that tab for that table?
By looking at it, yes.
Okay, you would just add it up?
You want me to say the number?
Yeah, can you add it up and tell us how many drinks were ordered at that table that night?
Yes, we have 8 Corona Lights, 4 Dos Equis, 4 Corona, 1 Heineken, 9 Jägermeister, 2 Washington Apples, and 1 Captain Morgan's.
Wait a minute, what the two last ones? Two what?
2 Washington Apples.
Washington apples?
Yes,
That's a drink?
it's like a shot.
Okay, what was the last one?
And 1 Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan, thank you.
What's a Captain Morgan?
That is also a shot.
What's a Jägermeister?
A shot,
So that's a small glass of hard alcohol?
yes.
Do you know what time the people who were at that table settled up their bill?
No.
I don't want you to guess. Do you know the time?
No.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Mr. Cooper, any questions? Sure.
Afternoon.
Ms. Metcalf, how long were you working that night?
I honestly can't say. Probably the majority of the night.
And do you recall what night of the week this was?
No, I don't.
Do you recall if the bar was busy or not?
I do recall that, yes.
And how many people were in the group that was drinking off of this tab?
I can honestly say I don't know. A large group.
And when you say large group, do you mean 10 people?
I could say approximately maybe 10 people, but again, I'm not sure.
And of those 10 people, who had what to drink?
I don't know.
Just showing you Exhibit 164. The total on that bill was $130.92.
Correct.
And in addition to drinks, were there also other things on the bill?
Yes.
There was food on the bill.
Yes.
Do you recall the group that particular night that had Officer Talbot in it? In other words, do you remember that party or that group of people?
No.
Do you recall being spoken to the next, 2 days later by the state police, being interviewed about the group who had been in there that night?
Yes.
And do you recall describing to them the group that you were with? The group that Officer Talbot was with that you served?
No, I don't recall any of that. I don't remember, actually.
I'm going to show you a 2-page report. I'd ask you to just, why don't you just take a look at it, scan through it, it's relatively short. had a chance to read through that?
Yes.
Do you recall describing to the police the group that he was with?
I don't mention, no,
Do you recall this? Do you recall the group as being abusive or argumentative?
no, not at all,
Were they angry, upset when they left?
no.
Did they do anything that night that made them stand out to you in terms of being intoxicated?
No,
Would you have continued to serve them if they had appeared intoxicated?
no,
In fact, when they left, they were in a good mood, weren't they?
In what?
In a good mood.
yes,
Do you recall specifically seeing any of the people in the group with any specificity? You said that there was this group of 10 or so people that were there, right?
yes.
And in that group of people, do you recall who it was that was drinking hard alcohol or not?
No, not at all.
Do you recall the group or the people that were on this tab buying drinks for others in the back? For other people that they knew?
I know that there was drinks being bought from that tab for other people, yes.
For other people who weren't associated with their group?
Yeah, I just know that there was drinks being bought
Do you have
from
any way
that.
of controlling that?
Well, yeah, if people are intoxicated, obviously we wouldn't let that happen.
Was there anybody else from that group that you specifically remember being there?
No,
But then you said that 2 days later, the state police came and they interviewed you.
yes,
And they talked to you about what it was that you knew, what you remembered.
yes,
In fact, they got information relative to the bar tab for this group.
yes,
The bar tab, again, is $130 for the drinks that,
$130 and change, yes,
and that was for a group of 10 or so people.
yes.
Thanks, Dr. Burke.
Anything else, Mr. Cripple?
Yes, briefly. Mr. Krippendorf pointed out the food that was ordered, and I appreciate that. Can you tell the jury what was ordered?
A queso fundido and a quesadilla with chicken,
Okay, so 2 dishes.
yes.
Is that enough to feed 10?
It's 2 appetizers,
Okay, 2 appetizers. And he also asked you some questions about the size of the group. And you recall, and he showed you the report that was written after you were interviewed. Let me just draw your attention to the bottom of the paragraph on the first page. Here, do you see that?
yes,
Okay, it's fair to say your memory of events is better back then, September 30, than it is today.
absolutely, yes.
Okay, and what was your best estimate then as to the size of the group that Officer Talbot was with?
Well, at the table, there was a group of 4, but on that receipt, it was more than a group. It
Okay,
was more than 4.
and more than the group was people who came late, right?
Came in and out,
And
yes,
people who left early, right?
yes.
Oh, thank you very much.
Anything else, Mr. Cripple?